Okay, hey, it's me, it's Key. I'm back again. It's been a while. Um, I wanted to talk about something a little different today, which was composition. Um, I saw a post online from the old Marvel Comics artist Joe Jusko. He used to work at Marvel back in the day, or he was doing covers for Marvel's Savage sort of Conan back in the 80s and the 90s, and the artwork that he was doing very much was like in the spirit of the Frank Frazetta paintings that were done for the Conan novels, and essentially which has like defined this area of fantasy art for, like for the past 50 or 60 years. So, what really excited me about this illustration, because this is new, Titan Comics, which has the I guess has the partnership with Conan Properties to publish which actually it's publishing the new Conan the Barbarian comic book series, and it'll be launching Savage sort of Conan sometime early next year. So I wanted to talk not just about this, but I want to talk about some basics in composition. In my time, composition, well, at least in my experience, wasn't taught very much, or wasn't taught very well. And there's some books out there, that cover this, but to be honest, for myself, I was quite lost for a long time until I was taught a few things. I learned some things from some people. So maybe this might be helpful for some of you guys who are just starting out. First and foremost, what makes this illustration work is not, you know, it's not the draftsmanship in him, in Joe Jusko, like painting, this cool image of Conan here, or the woman, or it's not that. A lot of it is the graphic shapes that are being used, and also the method in which he is directing your eye around this frame. I think I've said in my other videos that essentially, even like for figure drawing, what you want is to create an experience for your audience. And one of the ways of doing that is, of course, doing things to lead your audience's eye. And usually the way we do that is usually through some tools, or some graphic tools, through which like we create a feeling, or an illusion of like rhythm in the frame, right? Just really quick, I'll just do this really fast. Let me just pull up a blank sheet here. Okay, so I have a blank frame here, right? Now, essentially, in this blank frame, our eyes don't fall on any particular point here, right? But the moment that I do this, right, our eyes immediately go to that point. As small as that is, our eyes immediately go to that point, right? I'll make it a little bit larger, but still, it's this the same thing applies, right? Our eyes cannot help but to go to that point, right? So already, we are taking control of the audience's attention and directing it to this point. So that's something you want to do, when you're composing your pictures. You just don't want to just draw. You just don't want to just draw um, figures in in the frame. Of course, this is just the idea, but you don't want to just place them there, and think that the draftsmanship is going to it's going to keep people's attention. What keeps people's attention usually tends to be like the relationship between these figures, and that relationship, either can be through some sort of like rhythm, okay, or it can be through some sort of like graphic shapes, or the combination of the two. Okay, so let me go back to the last one. Don't save. Okay. So obviously the graphic shape that we have here is this triangular pattern, right? That's very easy to see. And actually even with this guy, this dead guy down here, that's also a triangular pattern here. So already, so all these things are essentially are directing our eyes up to this point. Okay. And you know the triangle composition is a trope that's been used over and over and over and over again. You've seen it. You've seen it in movie posters, in classic movie posters. It's the Star Wars poster. It's it's the Tron poster. It's the Conan the Barbarian poster. It's been used over and over again. It's been used in Marvel Comics, and the reason why it's been used over and over again is because it works. It works very very well, and there's almost an infinite amount of ways that we can use this. Okay. Um, Another thing that's also happening here. I'm not sure if it goes this down or make it smaller. I mean, or turn it off. I'm gonna ghost it down a little bit. Okay. Another thing that is happening here, okay, in addition to that triangular graphic here, the elements that are in the frame also help direct the eye. Of course, this woman laying here, of course, the way her body is positioned, it's sweeping up into Conan like that. So our attention goes up like that. Obviously, this dead guy going up here, of course, he leads up into Conan. Believe it or not, this actually this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, because this really stood out to me. I'm gonna take everything off. The horse's leg here, this horizontal angle is also like leading us towards Conan here, right? Essentially, guys, when you do things, you want to avoid like horizontals and verticals unless you're using it as a way to direct your audience's eye or to anchor things. For example, like actually, the most vertical or perpendicular thing in this figure is Conan, right? He's the straight line that's going down like that, but that is fine. That is for the purpose of creating a sense of strength and something that is grounded, right? This is the center here, right? So everything is kind of like um, everything is like either like radiating away from it or leading into it. Again, the triangular pattern here, right? So, but here, this was deliberate. This hoof was not put there just for because if you wanted to, Joe could have like he could have rolled the horse over and like put the hoof like that, that or put it in a way that wouldn't be visible, right? So don't fool yourselves. This vertical was I'm sorry, this horizontal was deliberate. Also, this sphere. Now this is not quite as vertical. Let's say like as like the sword here, but this is like leading down, right? Leading down into this dead guy, and then our eyes come like that, and then of course we want to come back up into here. So actually, even here, even this foot that's leading up into Conan. So even this guy up here is leading up into Conan. So again, the center of the universe here is this character, and of course this is the most vertical thing of here, but that is the most rooted thing in this frame. Also, I want to add my 2 cents. This is just my thing in terms of what I've noticed in terms of like the way things have been composed in recent generations. A lot of the compositions I've seen recently are kind of meh to not so good to bad, because uh, I think that some of the compositions that are they're being made here, I think they're being made by committee, and if it's like for commercial purposes, especially if they're like movie posters, I think these things are being designed by people in marketing, and like they're more concerned in terms of which which actor gets gets dominance in terms of the way they're positioned in the frame, or um, yeah, making some characters more prominent and some characters less prominent as a matter of marketing. So, like for example, like the Star Wars, sorry, like the Disney Star Wars posters, you might notice that some characters are featured more prominently within an American audience, but let's say for like sorry, for American market, but let's say for like a market in China, they might de-emphasize the importance of certain characters, might even remove them altogether. So anyway, my point is that um, recently I've noticed, especially like in fantasy art, this kind of relationship with like the man being up and like the woman like being down. I've noticed that people have been shying away from that, and I don't know if that's a deliberate thing or if I don't know if that's happening in the committee room. What I have noticed recently is that in this kind of situation, they'll have like, yeah, okay, the hero is here, Conan the Barbarian is up, and then he'll have his female barbarian partner who's also like standing up, right? So the problem with this is that um, neither one has any any feeling of dominance in the frame. They're actually of equal importance. Now, if you want to talk about this like for like political reasons, okay, we can have that conversation. But the problem is, once you start making things even all the time, you give if you give equal priority uh, to the elements in the frame, it loses interest. So I don't care what anyone says. It's like, okay, you have like strong man and strong woman like there. It's like, okay, like now, you have the woman is like standing up here like this, right? Um, you know, yeah, it actually it takes away a significant amount of the attention that should be going towards who is the center of the story, right? So anyway, the reason why this kind of relationship works is that like you have like one figure being dominant and then the other figure like being passive because it creates interest, and that is just a rule of of design and also maybe of life and nature, which contrast creates interest. Once you have things of equal importance or of equal value, things lose their meaning and interest, right? So there's nothing sexist about it. I mean, this is the universe that we're talking about. This is the Conan universe. So generally in this world, men are strong, men are dominant, men are brutal, men are violent. Men are usually in a position of physical dominance. Women in this case are usually, yes, they are passive. They have strengths in other ways. Of course, there are strong females in the Conan universe, of course, but not all of them are like that. Um, you know, um, you have to have like some sense of you have to have some sense of contrast within your compositions, right? So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like politicizing about it, but I had to throw that in here. So this should not, I don't think this should be lost. Um, I may or may not come back to this, but I'm gonna go to, okay, so this is the original. Okay, so this is the original illustration done by Frank Frazetta back in 1965 of all times, which is unbelievable. But here is our triangular composition of Conan. Things are leading up towards him. Yes, the man is up. Okay, woman is down. There's a contrast, like here. Actually, we do that. All right, there's a contrast up, and then one is down. There's nothing wrong with that. Conan is dead center in the frame. All right, so he's grounding it. Actually, he's dead center, and also that the sword is dead center as well. Okay, there's some graphic shapes here in the back. There's like a ring here of these graphics. Like, okay, you have the skull, but it leads into, like, I don't know if it's an elephant tusk or something like that, and then you have like this ghostly figure. But basically, you have like this ring kind of thing, which is it's kind of creating like almost like a a subliminal dark halo around him, which also helps with this oops I use this one. It helps with this triangular composition. A couple of years ago, I commissioned the artist Rob de la Torre to do a commission, sorry, to do an homage of the original Conan the Barbarian done by Frank Frazetta. Now, the great thing about this is that it does have all the elements that that the original Frank Frazetta illustration is famous for, but he made it his. If I go back to Frank Frazetta's version, his is great. His is the classic, right? And there are a lot of abstractions here. Of course, yeah, the triangle pattern. Of course, he has like this spear, going up into Conan. This battle axe is also going up into Conan. Okay. Actually, there's rhythm here. Actually, this fire, it's smoke going like that. Energy going out, smoke going out like that, and then like there's the ring here. So that all that is awesome and cool, right? But what Rob has, excuse me, Rob definitely made this his. Okay, and of course, we can look at it now. I'm going to do my evaluation, and then I'll show you what Rob did himself actually. There's the triangle pattern, of course, right? And there's another triangle here, right? Conan essentially is dead center, but he has the sword a little bit off center, right? This divides. Conan divides the frame right down the center. So he didn't exactly ape exactly what Frank Frazetta did, right? Frank's is a little bit more a little more dead center, right? But Rob, oops. But Rob decided to just put it a little bit off to the side, which is cool. Okay. Another thing that Rob did that to lead the eye. Do you see? This is something that Frank didn't do exactly, but do you see this fire going up like that, right? So obviously, that leads your eye, right? You have this going up. This is leading your eye going up here. Okay. Actually, you notice how Conan's arm also follows that, right? So your eyes kind of go like that, which is very, very, very cool. Of course, you have other things here like this. I don't know, this piece of debris down here. That's also like leading us up into the woman, and then going up into Conan like that. This rock here, okay, that is there for a reason, okay. And this is the sign of someone who knows what they're doing in terms of composition, because Sorry. Oops. Sorry, 1 second. Um, yeah. This is someone who knows what they're doing in terms of composition. This rock, which looks kind of random, whatever, this rock or this piece of broken pillar. This is to help ground your eye down like that, right? And then you see you have like a horizontal here going like that. So this is what you do to help um, ground and direct your audience's eye to where you want them to go. You don't want the audience's eye like floating all over the place, right? So it'd be quite easy for us like kind of like to float out and then just focus on that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do an experiment right now, and I'm going to see. Let's see what happens when um, we black out this this vertical here, right? So what happens when we do that? Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. So now some people might argue, say, well, there's nothing wrong with it. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. And I I could see how some people say, oh, it doesn't really make a difference. Like you don't need that. The problem is that without it, um, our eyes don't get grounded. Our eyes just kind of go zoop out here like that, and then you have this and you have that. That's cool, right? But there's nothing like to really like lock it down. This is fine, that's fine. You have like these verticals here like that, but no there's no anchor in here. The only anchor in here would be Conan, right? So if I take it away and I say if I put that back in there, at least that helps like bring us back down into this woman and then like back up into Conan. If I put that there, then our eyes just kind of like float, just out the frame. I don't know if this is making sense to you guys, and I don't want you to think I'm just making this up, because trust me, these are tools that have been used for you know for millennia in terms of composition, and it's definitely important to use these tools. So again, if you say, oh, well, it doesn't make a difference, actually it looks better without it. The problem is that our eyes are going to just like they're going to float out the page. Our eyes are going to go zoop out here, and it's going to keep going, or maybe it's going to go like this, and there's nothing to help like bring us back into this frame. Everything is going out, right? So by having an anchor here, like this, right? That helps like bring our eye. It helps bring our eye back down here, and then like lead back up into him. Okay, you know. Okay, so these are the notes on the composition from Rob Del Torre himself. Okay, so um, he's pretty much echoing what I just said a little while ago, which is again the triangular pattern here, and actually he has a triangle. Actually, to be clearer, you notice how he has the triangles going towards the sword, which is awesome, which is very awesome, right? Um, of course, there's the sweep up of going up Conan's hand here, the sweep up from the woman going up into Conan like that. Okay. Um, the use of horizontals again to draw you here again to anchor you. Okay. Here again to bring you across left to right, and then this is down here to anchor you, right? So it's all there. It's all there. So I guess what I'm getting at. Actually, there's one other thing actually I wanted to show you, um, which is this one. Okay. So this is the very rough um, that Rob did, and this is essentially what you guys want to do. When you compose your drawings, you want things to be as like rough and as graphic as possible, right? The general idea is still there, which is the triangular composition, of course, right? That's still there. Of course, the woman sweeping up into him, of course, that's still there. But you see that? Even at this early stage here, he put this here to ground it, right? He put that there to ground it. Because Rob knew if he didn't have that, you're just going to have this, and uh, again, you can get away with it, but in my opinion, I think it's amateur. For lack of a better way of saying, I'm sorry. I think it's amateur. This is you know that's someone who is really considering how to um, how to guide the audience's eye. This is not just like a cool drawing, of Conan the Barbarian, but this is creating a sense of order in this picture here. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to, and I might have flipped through some of these drawings here, but I want to show some drawings that I did, just to show you like what I try to keep in mind in terms of composition. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So this is a sketch exercise that I did this week actually, and you know what I think makes this work, of course, are the rhythms and the graphic shapes that I have in here, right? Um, when I composed this, okay, I had the hero dead in the center here like this, right? So, and then of course I have a sword here like that to guide us towards him like that. Also, so I have this rippling out um, uh, feeling here, or I guess rhythm that's rippling out like that, right? So it's like how, yeah, okay, like this is pushing out and this and pushing that, and then you have like the enemies down here like this, like that. Okay. The other thing, you notice all the swords are going towards him, right? I didn't just make the swords like straight. Like I didn't do this. I didn't make like just like straight swords like that. You know, if I did something like that, it'd be terrible because that's gonna force your eyes just to go up and like out the frame, right? So again, little things like that you guys should try to keep in mind in terms of like what is directing your audience's eye. Even like the foliage in the back, like I have like the shadow of this tree here, it's leading into him. Some reeds and some bamboo leading into him, that's leading into him. Okay. So I've arranged this in a way so that everything is going towards him or is rippling away from him, right? So that's something you guys want to keep in mind when you're making composition. When you're doing composition, essentially what you're doing is that you're creating order, and um, when I say order, I don't mean just necessarily like lining things straight up, up and down so that they're even, but order in terms of like a um, there is a feeling of movement. There's a story being told, but it's being framed in a way that makes sense to the audience. I'm sorry, I can't explain it in a better way, but it's more than just drawing like cool characters and stuff like that. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna stop it here because I think I've been talking for a very long time, but I hope this was helpful for you. I might do like another video. If this was helpful for you, then I'll do another video on composition. Maybe even I'll even take you guys through a demonstration if that's possible. Okay, okay, all right. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, take care. Bye bye.